you guys? Tom is back with another Linson's video. Man, one more day until we get to open up some Christmas gifts. Man, any of you guys get any new fragrances? You guys feel that you're going to get some new fragrances from your wife or anything like that? Or do you have one of those wives that says, you've been buying fragrance all fucking year, what am I going to buy you one for? So, I don't know, I kind of got one of those. The wifey does not want to buy me no fragrances this year. She says I have too many already. And because I sell them, because I trade them. But that's how the game works. You sometimes buy some fragrances, you get some fragrances, then you see some that are like truly expensive that you really want. And sometimes you just gotta sometimes trade the ones that you don't want to get something even better. That's the kind of the case of what I've done so far this year, trading a lot of different fragrances. But with that being said, I got a fragrance for you guys today from the house of Dossier. Now, if you guys know anything about Dossier, they make pretty much high quality cologne fragrances. They use high quality ingredients. Most of them, I believe, are EDPs, so you're gonna get the one of the highest concentrations that you can get. Now, before I get into the actual fragrance that I bought, I just want to kind of discuss how my first transaction went with them. Now, this might not happen with everybody, but my first time buying from Dossier did not go that great. I think I purchased back in October the 1st, did not receive it until November 1st. And because when I ordered the fragrances, after I ordered, paid the money, a few days later, got a text saying stuff has been shipped out. Well, a week later, I got one of the fragrances. I ordered 5 of them, and I only got one. I asked them, what's the deal with that? Why am I only getting one when I ordered 5? Next thing you know, they emailed me and said the fragrances that I had on my order were not in stock. So how the hell did they let me buy these fragrances if they weren't in stock? You don't do that nowhere else. Like if you go to Fragrance Net, Fragrance X, Fragrance Buy, if they do not have a certain fragrance, you cannot buy it. You gotta wait until it gets in stock. So, long story short, it was a few, back and forths over the week. Next thing you know, they said we'll have it in the middle of the month. Middle of the month came, got another email saying it's still not in stock. So, a month later, finally got the fragrance. And since then, I really haven't purchased from them again. Now, will one of these fragrances kind of make me change my mind? The other few fragrances I gave away as gifts. Now, one more thing before I get into that actual fragrance, the one that I'm going to be discussing today. I just kind of wanted to show you the presentation, what they do. Now, I don't have the exact Dossier box, but when you get these fragrances, they come in a box almost similar to the ones that you get from Alexandria. They're a little bit, thinner and stuff like that. And they pull up this way instead of the length way, okay? They pull up width way like this. Inside, you will get a card that says basically what they are trying to clone, what their fragrance is an inspiration of. They'll give you the note breakdown. They'll give you the oil concentration of it as well. And they'll also throw in a decant. It's probably about a 2 ml size decant of the fragrance. So you can try that fragrance out. If you don't like it, you send the whole thing back. It's that simple. Now, the one thing I've noticed, though, with decants compared to the actual bottles, I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed this, but when you get a decant of something and then you smell the actual fragrance from the bottle, it seems like it's more stronger from the actual bottle than the decant. So I'm not sure. I would, if you use the decant that they give you, really give it time. Like, use it a few days, okay? Don't just spray it once and then say, oh, it's not working, and then you get rid of the whole thing. Give it a few wearings, because I just feel like the decant sizes, or maybe there's something in those decants that maybe kind of, water it down a little bit, and then people get the, oh, I might have to send this back. But with that being said, let's finally get into the fragrance I'm going to be discussing. The fragrance I'm going to be discussing is their take on Tom Ford's, I think it's called Lost Cherry or Hot Cherry or Cherry Smash, something like that. This one is called Oriental Cherry, and as you can see, they put the notes on the front right here as well. On they just put the notes right here. I can't think of the word right now, but on the label, okay? There you go, the label. So there go your notes. Got top notes of cherry, almond, and cinnamon. At the middle, we got cloves, rose, jasmine, and plum. And at the base, we got some Peru balsam. We got some tonka bean and vanilla. Now, I did take a look at the note breakdown in Cherry Smash as well, or Lost Cherry, whatever it is. There are some differences from the notes. Not too many, but there are subtle differences. Where I think on the Tom Ford, there's like cherry, it says like cherry syrup in there. And to be honest, when I first smell this from the bottle, that's kind of what I get, this dark cherry syrupy smell almost. That plum, it's kind of like a dehydrated plums, not like a fresh plum, but like that really sweet plum, like from a date or something like that, or a prune. That's what I get from this. Now, I do have a dry down on my wrist. This was about 6 hours ago. All I'm getting is pretty much that vanilla and a little bit of sweetness from the tonka bean. Really nothing else after that, but it's pretty much, that's all I'm getting with the dry down. Now, again, that was 6 hours ago. Let me spray this on. You would think these things would last a lot longer. And the oil concentration is like above 20. So I'm a little disappointed in that already. So 6 hours and it's pretty much almost all gone. I mean, I'm getting a little whiff of this vanilla, but man, where this thing really shines is that opening. You guys, the cherry on this is so strong and potent. You guys, it's a really lovely smell. You guys, this is definitely a unisex fragrance. The wifey'd want to wear this as well. But that cherry right up at the top is just so strong. It's a punch you in the mouth kind of cherry, right? Okay, this is super strong. You get a little bit of this kind of like this rose. It's not too much rose. It's not like a super dark, rosy smell. But the cherry in this, you guys, in a little bit, it's going to dry down a little bit. You're going to start getting this little almond smell that kind of resembles like an almond cookie that you get at a Chinese buffet or a Chinese restaurant, those almond cookies. And that's what I'm getting right now, this kind of almond cookie type vibe with that cherry that's still popping off the skin really loud, actually. Getting a little bit of this plum, which again, like I said, it's more of like a prune that's been sitting in that syrup, because this is really, it's sweet, but it's a good sweet, not like that deathly sweet stuff. Starting to get a little bit of earthiness probably from that jasmine, that, nice, kind of not getting too much of the clove. But for me, it's that cherry, it's that almond. And when I say almond cookie, that's probably where I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon from. It's not too much cinnamon, but it's, like I said, it's starting to smell like an almond cookie with that cherry. The cherry is definitely super strong in this, you guys. Now the cherry in this stays pretty strong for probably a good 10 minutes, okay? It's still pretty strong, you guys. It's almost like that cherry, dark, syrupy, almost like machino cherries, like if someone took that and, just mashed it up and stuff, that smell you would get from that. Getting them almonds. But yeah, that stuff is nice. The opening is very nice. As far as how this would project, honestly, when I sprayed it earlier in the car, I did get whiffs of it in the air. So I'm not sure if that means it would be a nice projecting fragrance, maybe about an arm's length. But honestly, with this one, I don't see this one needing to be in a super projector. It's not that type of smell where you want it to just over project and just like everybody want to whiff. You want the one who's closest to you to get close to smell it, okay? This is a closer to the skin type scent. You don't want this blowing up all over. This is not a clubbing fragrance. This is a nice date night, sexy fragrance, cuddle fragrance. This is what you're going to get right here. Almost kind of gives me a little, almost like a honey vibe as well with that cherry. That maybe they're using cherry syrup in here as well, because I'm kind of getting like this little honey vibe as well from it, even though there's no honey in here. Maybe with that vanilla and the cherry mixing together kind of gives it maybe a honey effect. But man, the cherry is just the most prominent note in this fragrance. That cherry that you get from here is amazing, you guys. I'm not even lying. Now, I don't know if the wifey is available. Wifey, are you available? Wifey is probably not available. Because I want her to smell this and tell you what she thinks. Yeah, she'll smell it on the side. She won't be seen. She's not fully dressed and not fully ready. You know, women are never ready. But I'll let you spray this on your hand. How about that? Because this is definitely a unisex fragrance.
Is this for me?
Tell me if you can smell like a really dark cherry, prune, syrupy.
My gosh. This reminds me of those halls. Like
cherry halls, maybe.
Yes.
The cherry really is pretty strong on this fragrance, you guys.
No, I'm sorry, not cherry halls. Those
machino cherries. That's exactly what I said earlier. Those cherries that you get in a drink. If you've ever seen them in that jar, if you open that up, that's exactly what it kind of smells like. Syrupy, cherry. Kind of comes off a little like dessert a little bit too when it starts drying up a little bit, like an almond cookie a little bit. But again, the cherry is the main thing on this fragrance, you guys. I'm not sure if this is close to the Tom Ford's or not. I don't have that one. But by itself, this fragrance is definitely very nice. And I think these ones are 39 bucks for these 1.7 ounce. But if you go try to look for a Tom Ford in the same size, you're going to be spending $250 to $300. So 39, $250, $300. You can have like 4 of these for the price of just one of those, okay? Again, on Dossier, they usually have 5 for $100, so you cannot beat that. They got lots of great clones. Only problem is they don't have as many clones for the men as they do for the women. The women's section has a whole lot of stuff. The men, they got like 6 or 7 of them, and then that's it. The rest are just unisex, but then the majority is just for the women. But with that being said, although I hated their process when they shipped this stuff to me because it took a whole month, I'll give this fragrance some credit where credit is due. This stuff is very good, you guys. If you want something that's a nice cuddle fragrance, something that's not too loud, that's a little bit more closer to the skin, even though the wifey says she definitely likes the way it smells, right? Is it still smelling good? That cherry is still strong, you guys. I'm telling you, the cherry stays there for quite a while. The almonds start kicking through. Then you got jasmine in here, you got plum, you got rose. It's kind of hard smelling all those things when the cherry is just so dominant in this, but this is a pretty darn good fragrance. And I got a dry down right here. I can't really smell it no more. Again, this was about 6.5 hours, 7 maybe. See if the wifey smells it. Maybe I've just gone nose blind to it. But I'm not really smelling it too much. I mean, there's just a hint of sweetness in there from that vanilla probably. So I'm a little disappointed on that. For this thing, to be 18% oil, which I think this one was, or 20%. The performance, I don't know, a little lackluster, 6 hours, 7. But that opening, you're going to get that for about at least an hour, that nice, beautiful opening. Then it starts turning into that almond cookie. But after about 3-4 hours, then it's really close to the skin, almost not even detectable. But with that being said, I don't know if that it's totally up to you guys. Because again, this is only 39 bucks, and if you get 5 of them, you can have 5 for less than, I think it's $100 bucks. But if you get the higher class ones like the Tom Fords, then it's like 5 for 119 bucks. So that's still a pretty good deal. Just wish the performance was a little bit better, but other than that, the smell is great. The wifey likes it. I like it. Cherry galore. Stuff is good. All right. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed that video on Dossier, the Oriental Cherry. I don't know why they call it Oriental. Probably that jasmine, but I'm not really smelling that much of jasmine. But again, from this bottle, it smells, it's almost a whole different smell just from the bottle too when you smell it. It's a different smell in general.
It's not as sweet from the bottle.
Not as sweet, but it's definitely, you can still smell the cherry, but when it goes on that skin, that cherry is just nice.
Well, since it didn't perform that well, do you want to give it to me?
Actually, I was probably thinking about giving this to someone, but not the wifey. Actually, the mother-in-law, because she said she wanted another fragrance.
I love it, too.
And she probably will definitely like this. Like, she has the other Dossier that I bought, which was a YSL clone. that thing actually smells good every time she wears it. I'm like, dang, what are you wearing? So maybe these things project. Maybe I'm just, getting nose blind to my own, stuff. Because whenever she wears it, like, I smell it a lot, right?
I like mine too.
But the wifey has 2 of them as well. Maybe we'll do a video on those other 2, maybe within the next week or so. But there you guys have it. I hope you guys have a great Christmas, great holiday. Spend time with the family. You never know. Tomorrow is not promised, so get out there and spend some time with them. Mask on or mask off. Just go out there and see them, all right? What? I'm getting up out of here. Got a nice church service tonight to go to, so I'm getting up out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys did, hit the likes, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace out. Yeah.